Hello there, welcome to my channel, and we are here to do a reading for if you are in a very strong soul-based connection, a twin flame, soulmate, as I said, or maybe a divine partnership, howsoever you want to call it. But if you feel that there is a strong connection which you have with this person and your soul is kind of calling out and confirming that, then this reading is for you. I've already done divine masculine, and now I'm here to tune into what is happening as far as this overall connection and where is it as far as this journey is concerned. And this is timeless, so when you're watching it is a time to is the right time for you to watch it. So let's see what are the energies for what are the overall, where is this connection basically, what are the current energies of this connection. So let's see and get some cards for that. I'll just pull out one, Archangel Michael or Romance Angels, whatever wants to come out. What are the current energies of this connection? I've got this card come out, and let me check what this one is. Very interestingly, because it says explore your option. Now it could mean several things, and I might be tuning in to different groups here. Now the option, because we are talking about the overall connection, where the overall connection is at this point in time. So it could mean that there are the options getting explored so that it can move towards the union, or the options are getting explored, how things can move out, and this could be explored by divine masculine or divine feminine, or divine in itself is trying to see how ahead we can continue to help this journey so that it can move on to the right direction, it can gallop in the right direction, crossing those hurdles and moving towards and getting the enough and more traction so that it reaches where it's ought to reach as far as this divine contract is concerned. Now with that, we will get more further messages. Let me kind of see that if I can zoom out, zoom in. Now here, let's see if what are the further messages. Let me see which deck. I'll be changing decks here, and let me pick the first one here, the Rider-Waite Tarot, and I'll pull some tarot here as to checking in what the further messages confirming explore your option. To clarify that, what are the current energies in this connection? What are the current energies in this connection? I've got two cards here, and that's beautiful. I don't read reversals, and this is the Lovers. Isn't that the card of options? Isn't that the yes, it's a card of confirming this strong soul-based connection. Two people like completely kind of getting guided by divine above, this angel spreading the wings and kind of I'm just kind of sensing that giving that push from one hand to here and one hand to this masculine, and kind of bringing them together. And divine is trying to find out ways and means to see how they can help both, so that things can move ahead. And that's like where things are. And here I'm sensing here that we've got with this Three of Wands, and this energy is of a kind of short knowing that the ships are coming. And many of you might be feeling it telepathically. Many of you might be already in some kind of physical level connection, or what I mean by that, you would have received a communication, or you already are in union in some way or the other. Not the complete union probably, but then some amount of reunions would have happened, and you can see the ships are coming. You are so sure about this, and because you can feel in your energy field. And now the ships are sailing towards the shore, but they are kind of getting guided by the divine, by the kind of how do I say that, the waves of the ocean, the wind direction. There's a couple of things which are kind of being in divine's hand, and that is what that hand is kind of seeing, that how that thing can be, or the ships can be stirred towards the shore, wherein they need to meet, or the two need to come together, because Lovers is also the card of union. And here we have 10 of Wands after the 3 of Wands. And how explore the options is also kind of coming forward, that whatever burdens have been kind of the responsibilities and the burdens and the karmic situations which are on the path, how to kind of have that wrapped is also the option which is getting explored at this point in time. And we have the Knight of Swords, and that is like the fast moving knight. This knight is restless. This knight is kind of not sparing anything. It just kind of knows where it needs to get. It just kind of gets the things done and then it's out. But this is what I'm sensing, how relentlessly and how with this fast-paced energy divine is working to bring forth the justice, because that's what we have under that, to bring forth the balance. And things are being kind of at a full throttle, at the full speed at this point in time. You may not see it because you can't see nothing, you know, because these are burdens which are blocking your view or your masculine's view. You can see probably there is nothing moving. There is, all I can see is these block of freaking wands, which is not making me see even the my own beautiful house which I want to create and have. Oh my God. So so that's what it is. That's where the connection is, and we will get more messages and see, understand that this is the current energies I'm picking on, and it may be, as you're tuning into it, is a time when you're watching, as I said. But things change. If this is what it is, tomorrow it will be something else, and as we move along the journey, things might be different, right? So let's see, with all this there, what still needs to be worked on as far as this connection is concerned. What is still pending to be done? What still needs to be worked on? What are the, you know, kind of things to be worked on? Yeah, so we've got this separation. So this separation needs to be dealt, and that's something which needs to be worked on or ended, because there is a separation which is there right now, probably for many of you, because many of you who are tuning into this reading probably are in separation, because I'm getting that. And if you're not physically separated or some bit of it, but you don't feel completely in union at this point in time, and time apart from your partner is on the horizon, so that needs to be worked on, and things needs to be worked on while you both are in separation, because that's the time to heal. That's the time to kind of deal with things the way it needs to be dealt with. So let's see what all we need to look at while what all is happening while the separation is on, and what we need to work on. I'm just thinking which deck. Okay, so I'll pick this one. What still needs to be worked on while the separation is on? We've got the Ten of Wands again, which is not surprising, because that's what we were thinking, that divine is kind of finding ways and kind of helping both of you to kind of let this burden, so the responsibilities while the separation is there, to end, and these huge log of wands, or these kind of these logs can be kept. And both the sides, this person, if you see in this deck, can't see ahead because the view is blocked, and in this one you can't even see the head. The person has lost his entire side, so that is getting worked on, and it's 10, meaning completion. 10 is the number wherein it is coming to an end. It's at the brink. They just need to kind of keep the burden off. You need to keep the burden off. The person you're connecting with, your beloved, needs to keep the burden off. And we have the High Priest, which is come under the 3 of Wands. And as I was saying, that there are a lot of messages which are intuitive. There are a lot of messages which are very in the energetic field, and that's how it's being communicated to you. You have this deep sense that ships are moving towards you, and you can kind of see them with your third eye, or the eye of auric field, or howsoever you connect with that. That's deep sense of knowing, and divine is also communicating with you both as to how to end this, how to, during this time, you also need to work on your spiritual self so that you can start tuning in. That is getting worked on, and you get tuned into your intuitions, not to your head space, not in your ego self, which keeps asking for one confirmation after the another. And you can be in the present, you can be tuned into the present space and live every moment to the fullest. Whatever your realities are, find satisfaction in that, and hoping and expecting that things will get better. Because if the desires has been lit in your heart by divine, that means there ought to be a way to kind of satiate that. So if that's the word, but you got what I'm, you got it right, what I mean. So here there is this, while separation is there, these things are kind of getting worked. And we got the Knight of Swords there, and we have the Page of Sword. This also could mean that those, another thing which is getting worked on, because as to how to communicate, because probably in some of your cases there was a big gap wherein this communication never happened, and there is this energy and the shadow work, the shadow side, which is getting worked during this separation time, and which needs to be, lights needs to be shed on that, and out of all that, the work is happening. Now here we are kind of tuning in to deal with the communication aspect as well. The Page of Sword is also how to put forth things without hurting each other. How to kind of communicate by laying off the burdens and clearing those baggages. Right? So that I can come forth not as harsh and I want to bite you, rather. So there is that amount of clearing which is happening, and very interestingly, that's where things are getting cleared, and these are the kind of works which is getting done. And as I said, that this is the shadow work, and under that, see, we've got the Two of Cups, and that's interesting because once the shadow clears, that is what we have, the Two of Cups. So you have this beautiful energy of two people coming together. But before that, there is this, during separation, the shadow work needs to happen. The demons which are being hidden behind those fears, those traumas, those childhood traumas, those things could be related to this connection or not be related to the connection, which kind of haunt you, which kind of form those repetitive cycles in your life. And that is what attracts the kind of situation you've been facing before or you've been fearing. You don't want to keep attracting what you fear. You would want to attract, or you would want to manifest what you love and what you want. You do not want to manifest what you fear, and that's what you're working, you're purging, so that you can allow those fears to get out of your system, from your atoms. Each and every cell of your body is kind of free of those fears, free of those doubts, free of those traumas which you kind of held and kind of kept rubbing it or kind of pushing it under the carpet. You don't want to show your darker side to anybody, but you need to shine and show that darker side of you to yourself. You don't need to do the shadow work, and then reveals the Two of Cups in this connection, and that is getting worked while the separation is on. I think that makes hell of sense. Now, with that note, let's see what is supporting the connection. What are the energies which are supporting the connection? Let me check and get this. What is supporting the connection? What is supporting? Oh, okay. They're asking me to. Generally, I pull the heart messages in the end for each row. Now, I'm guided to kind of pull one. For the first one, let's see what the message is. For the first row, what are the current energies of this connection? Let's see what is the heart message coming forth for that. Okay, I've got this one which kind of came out. So what are the current energies of the connection? And we got to explore your options, and we kind of read through those energies. And it is Aya, see, manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow your guidance. You need to follow your guidance, and that's what is happening. So divine is guiding you through your intuitions, and that's what you need to kind of pay attention to, so that so that miracles can, sorry, my water bottle fell, so that the miracles can start to unfold in your life. And as I was talking, it's not what you want to manifest, is not your fears, but what you really desire, those miracles, that's what you want to manifest. And that's where your energy should be, right? And if you really can't, the triggers are so much, or if you still need to work on those kind of things, then be in the present moment, still count on your blessings and work through that, right? And let's see what are the heart messages for what still needs to be worked. And we got the separation and things which we discussed, and what still needs to be worked, and we've got this message out there. Yeah, don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. So divine is working, and you need to be working. Your divine counterpart is working on being true to themselves in during this separation time, and so that this truthful communication can come forth, and clearing that shadow side, and that's like laying off the burdens, listening to the intuitions is what can bring forth those kind of changes. But then a lot of guilt and a lot of those things which are kind of holding back the decisions is what getting released on. Let me get we were moving on to what's supporting the connection. What energies are supporting the connection? Oops up. I've got 3 cards, and this is like the reading in itself. I don't know what the messages are. Just give me 1 sec, guys. Let me just kind of I'm just adjusting my what is supporting? Pay attention to the red flags. It's very interesting because the signs are cautioning you. So just don't go by the thing. So there are signs, there are synchronicities, which is what are supporting you, and which are also kind of telling you what to do and what not to do. And that's what means by the red flags. As it's not only guiding you what to do, it's also telling you what not to do. So you need to pay attention. And what's working? There's a desire. Someone from your past is returning to your life. It could mean somebody really does. And after the separation, there is this reconciliation energy which happens here. And that's really beautiful. And decide to be happy now. And what's working is that more you both decide to be happy, you attract that kind of an energy. So you need to be deciding to be happy now, and that will support you if you're not already in the happy state. Find your blessings, as I said there. If you're not happy about this connection, be happy about anything. If you're happy about certain aspects of this connection, focus on that. And yes, you need to do shadow work, but then you don't have to be immersed in the shadows, because that's what you have to work on the shadows. Allow it to surface. Don't get immersed in it. Don't entangle with it again, because then you'll be creating more shadows. It's a very delicate work. Shadow work is a very delicate work. That's how I kind of word it. It's like very delicately needs to be managed, very delicately needs to be handled, because you can't be drawn into this, because that's when then you change your vibrations and you start to attract rather start to create more blocks than to attract what you want. So be very delicate about this, be very mindful about it, and each time, even while you're working on your shadows, give that light to your aspects and say that I love you. Ho'oponopono is wonderful if you want to clear those shadows. I use that a lot. It does work for me. So it might work for you as well. It also helps in releasing any unforgiveness which you are holding for yourself or your partner or for anybody else, as a matter of fact, or any past in the past, there are some moments which were not so good. You can release all those and heal your timelines by working on these methods. There are plenty, and I still have not, launched or kind of moved towards that kind of work yet. But let's see, whatever I'm guided to. So let's see what are the tarot cards or the supporting messages which we are getting on what's supporting the connection. What's supporting the connection? Let's see. What's supporting the connection? See, there are new beginnings. There are new beginnings which are kind of initiating the reconciliation. There are signs and synchronicities which are working for either or both of you. And these new beginnings are like seeds being sown on the third dimension, because this is Pentacle or the Ace of Coins, which is a very earthly energy. And see, we are getting transformations. What's supporting is the transformation which are being put forth for this connection with 13th death. So whatever is not serving, those are things which are kind of being clearing is happening. And amidst all that, the one thing which will kind of initiate all of it is your decision to be happy. And we've got this Eight of Swords, which is also kind of freeing up from those what is supporting and what is working with these changes, these transformation which are coming forth, are also releasing that self-inflicted limitations in the connection. And let me see, at the bottom of the deck we have Queen of Cups. That is what is supporting the love which you both carry for each other in your heart is still supporting the connection, because that unconditional love, that emotional balance, the state which you guys have reached, both of you, because that's where the connection is, that's supporting. It could be a possibility that feminine, you are in this connection more, and there is this Ace of Cups underneath that. So there is a new beginning in love as well. So it could be a very feminine energy as well, and maybe you are the light which is kind of pulling this entire thread or the cart towards the towards the means, or towards the the cycle where it needs to be led. Now let me also pull one heart message for what's supporting the connection. What's supporting the connection? I've got this card wherein I think looking down into the mirror kind of thing. Let's see what the message is. Emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. And I think which is what we were talking about. That is the theme which has to kind of releasement of resentment, forgiveness has to happen, etc. So that's another thing which is supporting the entire journey. As much as you're releasing the resentment, the more it does blossom and allows divine to work more on, gives more space for divine to work on. Otherwise it's kind of all cluttered, and divine also kind of finds it kind of maneuvering it becomes a lengthy process. That's what it takes. So let's see, what are the potential near future energies for this connection? What are the potential near future energies for this connection? What are the potential near future energies for this connection? I don't know. This situation is already resolved. And I just want to read this prayer somehow. I give any worries, cares, and concerns to you in exchange of true peace in all ways. Thank you for resolving this situation in a divinely perfect way. So the situation is already, and divine knows what is the kind of where it needs to go and what needs to happen. So you need to trust divine that it's taken care of, kind of a thing. And let's see, what are the messages which we get. What are the potential near future energies of this connection? What are the potential near future energies of this connection? Let's see. Ace of Swords is kind of opened, and we have the Knight of Swords. See, this is the after tarot, and I like this deck because you get furthermore messages, a little bit clarity more than, you know, the regular, because the regular will tell you something. It kind of takes you to the next step. And here I'm sensing that there is something which needs to end for this journey to go ahead. And in the near future, that whatever, and it's the energy, it's not the person getting killed, right? It's about the choices, probably, because that's where we started on. It could be choices between two people, for you or for other person, or for both of you. And they will have to kind of end one to move towards the, you know, for the connection. And it doesn't need to be brutal. It could be very peaceful. It could be very, because the situation is already resolved. Situation knows that what needs to end and what needs to go forth. And the truth is the winner here, because this is what the new beginning is. Divine is kind of given that wisdom and kind of that fearlessness, because and you can see the direction which you need to fly on. Divine is giving that complete direction so that message gets delivered where it needs to go. The person can move where it needs to. The destiny will play its part. And there is this new beginning aligned with Ace. We've got two aces, and under that also, remember, there was an ace. And under that we had Two of Cups, right? So a lot of things are hidden. A lot of things are not like there in front or in the reading. Maybe in future it'll start to unfold. Let's see, what is the one more card? I think whatever pops out. But there is this new beginning for sure. The Sword is of Truth is something which is necessary, because decisions based on truth is where, and see this, the message, the eagle will fly where it ought to. The message will be delivered. Message is getting delivered and reaching the right destination. Three of Wands is a repeat here. So there is a divine guidance. I'm sensing it's also going. Remember, these ships which we saw are still there in the same position as in the Rider-Waite, but there is divine guidance which is going so that it can come forth. And that is what a kind of repetition here. Another ace, guys. This is very, very important. This is, we have the Salamander. Salamander is a very versatile, very flexible, very adapting kind of an animal. And there is a new wand which is there, and this is kind of bringing forth and will adapt to things which needs to be kind of coming forth in this connection. Let me get one heart message. Yeah, we've got this one. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. And that's beautiful. So you will be creating more memories because the situation is already resolved, is what we get as a message. There are new beginnings, guys. Whatever needs to end, these burdens, and if there are any karmic situations, things are kind of coming and wrapping up phase is what I'm sensing. So things are wrapping up. So, you know, it's like the, so that the show can begin at the background thing. The stage is ready, or maybe at the final, the stage is at the final stage for the curtains to be, how do I say that, unveiled? Yeah. So those are the messages, guys, for you. This is it for now, and thank you so much. If you want a private one, you can write to agnyite@gmail.com. I've mentioned that at the description box below as well. And take care till I see you next time. Spread love and be happy.